In the quiet suburbs of Pretoria, South Africa, there was a world within a world that existed between the pages of books, inside the circuits of early computers, and behind the eyes of a child who saw something more than what others could see. My name is Elon Musk, and this is the story of a childhood that was anything but ordinary. I was born into a family of complexity and contradiction. My father, Errol, was an electromechanical engineer, a man of sharp intellect and even sharper edges, brilliant yet difficult. My mother, May, was a model and dietitian, a woman of extraordinary grace and resilience. She was the counterbalance to my father's intensity, a beacon of hope in our often turbulent household. Pretoria in the 1970s was a world defined by rigid structures, both social and political. The apartheid system cast long shadows, creating invisible barriers that seemed insurmountable. But in our home, something different was brewing. Conversations were never simple. They were intellectual battlegrounds where ideas were dissected, challenged, and reimagined. I was a different kind of child. Not the type who found comfort in playground games or social gatherings. My comfort was found in silence, in the depth of books, in the intricate world of technology that was just beginning to emerge. School was a battlefield, not the kind with physical challenges, but something far more complex. I was smaller than most children, more introspective. My interests set me apart. Science fiction, programming, complex ideas that most of my peers couldn't comprehend. This difference made me a target. The bullying was relentless. Physical attacks were common. I was beaten, thrown down staircases, brutally attacked by groups of children who saw my difference as a weakness. One particularly violent incident left me hospitalized. My body broken, but my spirit undefeated. Each blow, each taunt became something else, a fuel for determination, a catalyst for something greater. My salvation came through knowledge. Books became my armor, technology my sanctuary. I discovered computers at a time when they were mysterious, complex machines. The Commodore VIC-20 wasn't just a computer. It was a portal to another world. At just 10 years old, I taught myself programming. Not because it was expected, but because the logic of code made more sense to me than the chaos of the real world. My reading was voracious and indiscriminate. Isaac Asimov's science fiction sat alongside technical manuals and scientific journals. Each page was a blueprint, each book a potential universe waiting to be explored. While other children played sports or watched television, I was building mental models of how the universe might work. My first entrepreneurial venture came early. I created a video game called Blastar and sold it for approximately $500. It wasn't about the money. It was about proving something to myself. That I could take an idea from my imagination and transform it into reality. The relationship with my father was complicated. Errol was a man of immense intellect, but limited emotional availability. Our conversations were more like intellectual sparring matches, each of us trying to outmaneuver the other with logic and argument. He was demanding, critical, a constant voice that both challenged and wounded. My mother became my primary source of emotional support. May saw something in me that others missed. She recognized my sensitivity as a strength, not a weakness. While the world saw a strange, introverted child, she saw potential, a mind that could see beyond immediate limitations. Reading became more than a hobby. It was a survival mechanism. I consumed entire encyclopedias, scientific journals, programming manuals. Each book was an escape, each page a ticket to a world beyond the physical constraints of Pretoria. At 17, I made the decision to leave South Africa. It wasn't just a geographical move, it was an escape, a launching pad towards something larger than myself. The constraints of apartheid, the social limitations, the constant sense of being an outsider, all of these pushed me to look beyond. Looking back, My childhood wasn't perfect. It was messy, painful, complicated. But it taught me something fundamental. Adversity doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. The boy who was once beaten and bullied was learning that the greatest revenge isn't physical strength. It's vision. The ability to see beyond current limitations and imagine what could be. From a lonely child in Pretoria to dreams of interplanetary civilization, some journeys begin long before the first step is taken. My childhood was that journey's beginning, a crucible where pain, curiosity, and imagination merged to create something unprecedented. I learned that the world is not a fixed construct. It's a canvas waiting to be reimagined, a problem waiting to be solved. And sometimes the most revolutionary solutions come from those who have been told they don't fit in.